Welcome. Today I want to talk about self-improvement for females. Now, this is going to be a male's perspective. So again, this is just my perspective, basically. But I want to talk about, self-improvement for females and what I think should be included in the regimen as part of, in terms of the Hanuman mindset. So the Hanuman mindset is about creating generational excellence, not just generational wealth, but excellence. Excellence means giving the next generation better opportunities, but being able to provide them with wisdom, knowledge, and skills that you weren't provided with when you were growing up. And thus that will create a better society overall. Anyway, so that's kind of the Hanuman mindset, and I want to talk about kind of the female perspective on that. So first of all, I just want to state an interesting little fact here, because it's gonna lead into one of the first things I'll talk about. Makeup. We all know makeup is what females wear, or that's what that's how we see it. But makeup dates back to 6000 BCE, yeah? And it started with the Egyptians, at least these are the records that we have, okay? So makeup was worn by both men and women back then. And according to this website, I'll post the website in the description, but they created it as they believed that makeup was next to godliness and that it appealed to the gods. Both men and women of all social classes wore makeup. That's what the website says. Anyway, just thought I'd bring in that fact because it's going to relate to the first point in that self-improvement regimen. And I think what it's going to come down to is shifting your perspective on how you look and not getting programmed by society. Because as you know, when it comes to makeup, all you have to do is watch TV for a bit and see some sort of makeup advert or something like that. But makeup is, and not just makeup, but the way you look is heavy on females. It's a huge part of society and society's conditioning, and the things that females do to look a certain way because of those pressures in society is pretty crazy. So I think in your self-improvement journey, part of that should be unprogramming the conditionings of society in terms of makeup looking a certain way, and also understanding that you don't need that stuff because, okay, let me rephrase this. It should be not feeling like you are lacking without it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you're missing something without it, and you can't leave the house without some paint or whatever, or powder on your face. Do you see what I'm saying? So the first kind of mindset or tool would be shifting your perspective on how you look and not getting programmed by society. Okay? Because I think makeup is a big thing, and it's a big money, that's why they push it at the end of the day, because it makes so much money. And if you look at how much some makeup costs and stuff like that, you see it's making bank accounts fat. And some of these a lot of these makeup companies had male founders. So you feel me? It's a bit crazy, but that would be the first thing. I mean, on top of that as well, the idea of makeup is pretty backwards because a lot of the ingredients are, harmful for the skin. This is why when you pull it on, you have to take it off at the end of the day, and they recommend you not to sleep in it because it's harmful for the skin. So in terms of looking good, it doesn't really, in the long term and your overall health, it doesn't really do much. And finally on this, let's look at this in a logical way, right? Let's say it takes you 2 hours to get ready because you need to do all your makeup, you need to wait for things to set and all of that, right? It takes me 15 minutes. So logically, do you think you can actually compete with me, or not just me, but any random dude that takes 15 minutes to get ready? Let's say, okay, 15 minutes, I get ready. I'm now outside, handing out my business cards to people. You're still inside waiting for your makeup to set, or waiting for this, or putting powder on your face, right? We have a certain amount of hours in the day. And if you have goals and things that you want to achieve, do you really think you can compete with that competition if you're spending 2 hours of your time doing stuff to, make yourself look a certain way because you feel like you need to look that way because of the programming that society has conditioned you to? And this is why this belief has to really be eradicated. And of course, it's going to be a lot more difficult and easier said than done. But it's something that has to be reprogrammed for success and for peace of mind. I can understand maybe, okay, you don't want to be a business owner or this and that, but surely you want to live life not worrying about your looks all the time, or not thinking, oh, can I leave the house like this and that? Another thing would be health and fitness. Health and fitness, strength training, endurance training is not just for men, it's for women as well. I believe if you want to, help bring up the next generation to be the best they can be, you yourself being physically fit is going to help. For females, you have to carry the child. So the fitter you are, the better chances of a smooth pregnancy, Of course, there's lots of factors, but being healthy and fit is going to help. But not only that, both for men and women, when then you're bringing up the child being healthy and fit, you're going to be able to keep up with them, run around, teach them what they need to be taught and all that stuff. So being fit and healthy is standard for both men and women. Another thing I would say is emotional awareness. As we know, the hormonal conditions in men and women are different, and that can lead to women being more emotional, as we know. And I think what we need, or what should be included, in your self-improvement mindset and regimen, is being more aware of the emotions and the actions that they may lead you to take. Do you see what I'm saying? For example, it could be not falling for the wrong people. You have to be able to step back and step outside of your emotional, because anyone's capable of that. Maybe the only difference is you might be a bit more consumed and caught up with the emotions than a man would. And that's not everyone, but do you know what I'm saying? So being able to step outside of that and make decisions and see it in okay, yeah, I'm in an emotional state right now. Maybe I should wait a bit before I make this decision. Maybe I should, just go through it again in my head. And a lot of this awareness can be built through journaling, self-reflective meditation as well, that sort of stuff, to just become more in tune with your emotions. This goes for both men and women. The more you know yourself and the more you understand why you act certain ways and question yourself in certain things, the more prepared you're going to be when certain situations come up which may, affect you emotionally. So another standard thing we're going to go to, skill building. Skill building is standard for both men and women. Yeah, building skills to help generate income or whatever, but also to teach your offspring and provide value to society. Do you understand? So some sort of skill building in whatever craft you want, whether it's whatever, it can be anything, science, engineering, technology, music, art, whatever it is. You need to have something to focus on and build skills and progress in and keep working towards and getting better. And that's what I didn't mention with the fitness and the health and fitness sort of thing. Make sure you're still progressively overloading whatever fitness activities you're doing, in the sense of you don't just want to casually train. You might as well keep trying to get better and better. Yeah. And then the next thing that I want to go over is discipline. Discipline is important. Both men and women need discipline. But for females, I don't see that emphasized anywhere. But there again, the algorithm for me is based out on males. If self-improvement come up, it's usually around men's self-improvement, because I'm a man and that's what I would look at, which will lead on something at the end of the video that I want to say. But having the discipline to overcome emotion and get through tasks, especially with females, sometimes you can have lots of emotions going through your head, overthinking, anxiety, and then you're not getting stuff done. And I think this will lead to that emotional awareness. But having that emotional awareness paired with discipline will help to get stuff done. And building discipline and regimented discipline is going to help you not get in these emotional loops sometimes, where it could be the case of, for example, you're not getting stuff done, you're getting more emotional about it, procrastinating, and then you're not getting stuff done, and you just keep going back in that loop. So I think discipline should be part of your regimen, building discipline. And another thing you have to remember is that females have, their cycle once a month. So if you have some sort of discipline, again, this is coming from a guy, so I cannot understand, exactly what you go through. But what I will say is this: even if you have to cut back on things during, the period of your cycle, having some discipline will allow you to get straight back on it, after the cycle. And even that pre-planning, okay, I know it's going to come in a few days, so I'm going to ease off, but I'm going to focus on this and this, and just structuring your self-improvement routine around that instead of trying to battle against it. Of course, it could be difficult if you're working a 9 to 5 and you still got to go into work and all that stuff, but doing things that are structured around that, so you can still continue improving, reading. Maybe, when your cycle comes, you just say, okay, after your work, you're just going to go home, rest, but read instead of watching Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Read your book to improve your skills instead of watching Netflix, and do it like that, and have that sort of discipline engraved in to your mindset and building, because all this knowledge that you build will be passed on to the offspring. Do you know what I'm saying? And you have to think about that. The stuff that you do, you don't want it to, you know, affect your offspring negatively. So keeping yourself fit and healthy overall, building skills and knowledge to pass on. And that's going to lead me to the conclusion of the video, something that I want to say, because me personally, obviously, like I said, the algorithm is based around men's self-improvement. I don't really know any self-improvement female YouTubers, or at least I'm not aware of any, or any good ones in that sense. So for people watching, any females watching maybe who consume self-improvement content from other females, put the name of the YouTuber in the comments, and then that way we can, you know, get them out there a bit more. And if any guys are watching that have, you know, female friends, sisters, girlfriends, wives, whatever, then you can read the comments, see the names of the YouTubers, and then check them out for yourself. See if you think, yeah, they're pretty cool, and then send them on, share them with your, you know, female friends, girlfriends, whatever, you know. So we're gonna end the video there. And again, even like me saying this before we end the video, sorry, even me saying this sort of stuff, sometimes a female would have to hear it from a female. Do you get what I'm saying? If a female was on here talking about men's self-improvement, a man wouldn't really be able to like identify and relate with what she's saying, right? That's the same way it probably goes for me. Even though I'm talking about this stuff, there's some ways which I can't relate. So you would need like a female to talk about self-improvement. But anyway, we're going to end the video there. Quite a nice light-hearted video today. I'm going to get into some deeper stuff another day. So take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one.